Hello, welcome to my channel Becoming Bev. It's been about 3 weeks since I posted my last video, and if you've been watching my videos, you know that I try to keep my videos pretty upbeat, and I'm typically a really happy person. But I'm going to tell you, these last few weeks have kind of sucked. So I'll tell you about 3 things that have been going on, and then I'll tell you some things that are a little bit on the happier side toward the end of the video. The first thing I want to talk about is my mom's van experience. If you saw my thumbnail, you saw this raging fire with the fire truck there. Let me just share my mom's van story with you. My mom is 79 years old, and she decided that she wanted a van. Now, even though I offered to loan her my van, Jennifer, anytime she wants it, she wanted her own van. And I offered to have her stay out to the campground anytime she wants. She has a little camper out there that we call it her camper. Now, it can't really go anywhere because it doesn't have any wheels, but she's welcome to come and stay out there anytime she wants. So I want you to keep in mind as I'm telling this story that my mom is on Social Security, so she's on a fixed income. The first van she bought, she paid $1,000 for it, took it to the mechanic, several times, and finally they told her, unless you put a new engine in this van, it's just not gonna work. She was pretty sad about that. She ended up selling the van for $350 to a junkyard. When Mom got her first stimulus check, she squirreled it away with the thought that she was saving for a van. Then she got the second stimulus check and she put that away too. Now, she'd also saved some money. She'd sold a couple of things. She wanted a camper. She didn't want to share mine. She wanted her own camper, and she was pretty, I'll call it, hell-bent on that. I tried to talk her into just building out her car and doing some car camping to see if she even liked that or not. But anyway, so she found a van in Paducah, Kentucky, and it was a decent price, and it had already been partially converted. So she talked my nephew into making that drive to Paducah, Kentucky with her to help check out the van. When they got there, the seller told them they couldn't drive the van because they wouldn't be covered on her insurance. The seller said, "I can drive you though." So the seller took the van around the neighborhood, drove it, and everything seemed fine. So my mom bought the van. Now, the first problem came about when they got the van out onto the highway. The seller drove through neighborhoods. She didn't take the van out on the highway for them. So when they got on the highway, the van wouldn't go more than 35 miles an hour. So they ended up turning around to take the van back, but the seller was nowhere to be found. They didn't really know what to do and ended up just trying to make the drive home. So they got about an hour away from home and the van filled up with smoke. They pulled over, got out of the van, and a car came by, and as the car came by, the van, I guess the oxygen from the car, the wind from the car, anyway, the van goes up in flames. And I'm not talking about little flames, I'm talking about big flames with black, billowy smoke. So here's my 79-year-old mom standing on the side of the highway. She just spent every penny she has on this van, and it's in flames. And she didn't think to put insurance on it first. And even if she would have only put liability insurance on it, and it wouldn't have covered this. My sister calls me and she's like, "This happened to Mom." So I call my mom. I'm like, "Are you all right?" And of course she's upset, and of course she's sad. And then we were like, now what do we do? Is there any recourse? Like, I feel like this seller knew the van had a problem, and that's why they wouldn't let anyone drive it. And I also think they knew they had a problem because they didn't take it out of the neighborhood and didn't go more than 30 miles an hour on the test drive. And neither one of them thought, to ask them to take it out on the highway. I don't know what to do. It's like, I help my mom out. I love my mom. And if she wants something, I want her to have it. She called an attorney. The attorney said it's not really worth messing with unless it's more than $10,000. So my mom is just broke again with no van. I'm all over the place on this one. Like I could reimburse her. I could give her the money. I want to do that, but I also don't feel like it's my place to do that. A couple of people have suggested I do a GoFundMe for her, and I don't know if I should or not. So if there's a GoFundMe in the comments on this video, that means I decided to do that. And I don't know if she'll want to buy another van or not. I don't know if she'll want to buy a little camper that she could pull behind her car, or just have the money back that she lost on this deal. And I think more than anything, I want her to have her faith in humanity restored. And I think it's terrible that somebody would do that. Anyway, that's the story about my mom. The next story that I want to share on my Life Sucks video is that I've been studying for my drone pilot's license, and worn out. Like, that drone test is no joke. And I kept telling my daughter, I'm so tired, like this drone test is kicking my butt, like studying for it. And I'm curious, are there any of you out there that have taken that drone pilot's license, and what were your thoughts on it? So I went and took my drone exam. I passed it. I took a vacation with some girlfriends, and one of my girlfriends asked me, how are you? And I just started crying, and I said, I'm so tired. Like a wave of fatigue, you know, kind of hit me for about 4 weeks. And I started thinking, you know, something's wrong. Like, something's really wrong here. And I thought back, and I realized that it started about the time that I had the COVID vaccine. So I jump online, I do some research, and sure enough, fatigue is one of the #1 side effects of the COVID vaccine, but it should go away in a couple of days. Well, it didn't go away for me. I was sleeping 12 hours a day, and then in mid-afternoon, like a wave of tired would just bulldoze me over. I would go sleep for a couple of hours and just wake up feeling so heavy and so groggy. And that's partially why I haven't done a video in the last 3 weeks. I just didn't have the energy to do it. So the last couple of days I'm feeling better, and I'm hoping that that side effect is done running its course and I'm okay now. But I'm going to tell you, it bulldozed me, and I have a whole new set of empathy for people that have chronic fatigue. Like, wow. So I'm wondering, have any of you done the COVID shots, and have you had any side effects like that from it? Now, the third thing going on is I have someone really close to me that pretty much hit rock bottom a couple of days ago. And as sad as that is, I'm hoping that that rock bottom place is a turning point. Anyway, so I'm hoping that this person that I love gets the help that she needs, and that this is a pivotal turning point and she gets better now. It's hard to see someone that you love in so much pain. So anyways, that's what's been going on. You know, I want to say this. I want to say that, you know, of course we want to be happy all the time. That's a beautiful thing, but that's not really how life works. Life has a natural ebb and flow to it, and sometimes it's flowing and it's so good, and then sometimes it's ebbing. And I think that it's important not to make the ebbs wrong or bad, but just to understand, you know, like the waves coming in on the beach, that that's a natural part of life. So even with all of this going on, there have been a couple of good things. My daughter turned 40 years old. We had a wonderful birthday celebration for her. We closed down the whole campground to outside guests, and Misty had probably over 20 friends come in from all over the US, from California and Florida and Kentucky, and they had an amazing weekend. And then also I had a great time on Father's Day. One of the things that I love to do at my dad's house is porch music. So I don't play, but I have a lot of family that plays, and some of my happiest times are sitting on my dad's porch listening to them play music. And then the third good thing that happened was I took a little trip to Costa Rica with a group of girlfriends. I love men. I love you guys so much, but I treasure my female friends. I treasure those relationships. And it's wonderful to have a group of friends that build you up, that celebrate your victories, that you can just 100% be yourself with. So I appreciate these ladies so much. So that's about it for today's video. I'll do some more van stuff on the next video, And I'm going camping with my friend Yvonne this weekend, so that should be a pretty good way to press that reset button. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being a part of the journey. And thank you to everyone that reached out to me on the channel and just checked in and just asked, Bev, are you okay? We missed you. I missed being here. So I'll see you next time.